Hello and welcome back, everybody. Let us know if you can not hear us or if everything's good. I have the chat here with me this time so I can see if there's any problems. And tonight is going to be super fun. So without further ado, welcome to Birdin Live. Back on?
Yep.
There we go. Well, the computer shut down so I couldn't see anything. This is our new setup, everybody. We have these incredible bookshelves. We're in the process of getting everything set up. It's better than last time. So every time we do a live show, it should be progressively better. We're gonna paint the bookshelves, and there will be more books every time we do a show. And I have the chat here, so if I can see everybody can hear us, that's great. And it'll be easier, so no weird pauses. Just wanted to say, this is going to be every other Thursday. We're gonna do this consistently. So a couple Thursdays ago we did it. This is our second one. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being at the last one. And we're very, very excited about this show. We're going to hopefully have, well, not hopefully, we're going to have, we're actually planning it right now, to have guests on in the near future. So we'll be interviewing people as part of the show later on in the progression of our show. Also, wanted to say really quickly, we didn't mention this last time. Thank you all so much for getting us to 100,000 subscribers. I have the play button right here. Look at that. It's incredible. I know. Big round of applause. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for your continued support. Anyways, let us get into it. How about you start us off, because once again, as with the last thing, you're responsible.
I am responsible for all good things that happen. So we thought it'd be fun to talk about Sandy Komito. Mm-hmm. And when we're birding with someone who's been birding for a while, and I mentioned Sandy Komito, and they say they've never heard of them. I try to remain calm. I keep a neutral face. And then I go home and write in my diary, "Dear diary, Tommy did not know Sandy Komito, exclamation point." So he won 2 big years.
Yep.
Not consecutively.
He's one of the only people that has done 2 big years, because it's quite a lot of work.
It's a big commitment. Mm-hmm. So to do 2, I thought it was earlier, I thought it was in a row, but it's not in a row. Mm-hmm. To do 2 big years, because it's from January 1st to December 31st.
Yeah.
Trying to see as many species as possible.
And that's a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and he won it twice. So when Ari was going to have a birthday, I wanted to get Sandy Komito's books that he had written. Mm-hmm. And we're big fans of his. We've read The Big Year, the book, and we've also watched the movie, and that is where we were introduced to Sandy Komito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to read The Big Year
like every day.
month.
It's such a good book.
A month.
It is such a good book.
I think if anyone isn't familiar with birding or A Big Year, I always say, watch that movie. It's totally delightful.
It really does explain how it works.
It's really helpful.
It's really
birding.
In terms of the activity, it's really good. Mm-hmm. Although it's maybe not a great representation of the people themselves.
Yeah. Sandy
super accurately.
Sandy Komito was not a fan of it in his movie, because he was Owen Wilson's character.
Yeah.
Which is not at all like Sandy.
Not at all. Not
but I had heard
like
that he had written a couple books, and so I thought, oh, well, I'll just try to find them for Ari's birthday. I looked online. I saw one for $1,000, and I thought, what the heck?
That's kind of expensive for a book.
It's a little price, my price range. But then I saw this article online in a little bulletin called, I think it was called the Virginia Rail.
Yeah.
Was the name of the publication.
Yeah.
And this guy mentioned he had some copies of Sandy Komito's book. Now, it was several years old, but I found his information. I contacted him, and he said, well, actually, I don't have any more, but here's Sandy's address. Write to him for some copies.
Yeah.
And so I wrote to him, and he wrote me back, and he sent us these 2 copies inscribed to you boys.
Yeah.
And then I said, Ari, you should start writing Sandy, because we love writing authors, people we enjoy. And so you started a pen pal
Yeah, so I
friendship
started,
with Sandy.
and you helped me at the beginning because I hadn't really done it before. You had done it a lot to a bunch of other authors, but yeah, I wrote to him, and then he like immediately wrote back. It was really fun.
And you wrote back many times, and then I said, you should ask him if you can go birding. And you said, Mom, that's a great idea. I will write immediately and ask him.
Here, and as a thing, not a non sequitur, I was going to say non sequitur, but as a
A
extension.
totally unrelated topic.
Here
Here's
is the
his
book. Here's the book. I saw a counter. This is one of them. This is the other one.
This is the first one.
This is the first one. This is the second one. But what I wanted to say is in the book, he wrote, and this is after we had said, can we come visit? He said, to Ari and Asher, here in South Florida, the best time with the most birds is from mid-November to early March. Since you are both under 18, you'll need to come with a parent, a grandparent, or an adult family member 18 or older. I look forward to greeting you all when you get here. Warmest regards, Sandy. This was a while ago. Not a while ago, but when we were here. I could have gone now, but I wouldn't have wanted to go to Florida by myself.
Yeah.
But
So we ended up, Dada took you to Florida for a birding trip with Sandy, and y'all continued riding back and forth until he died.
Yeah, because he asked, we went birding with him, which was so enjoyable because he's such a good birder. And he showed us 2 different marshes in his area, and he was really enjoyable to talk to. And we asked him about the Big Year movie, and we asked if he liked it. He said he did not love the movie.
nope, or the book.
Or the book. It was kind of saying that he was rude and not friendly.
Yeah, and he's
But
so friendly.
He was so nice.
Yeah, we told him about, we said, have you read, or did you read The Big Year? Did you like it? And he started telling us about how the guy who wrote it had written about some murder at some school, and then started talking about the murder. He obviously didn't like the movie or the book at all. It just makes him think of
They
murders.
remind me of murders.
So we didn't get a ton of his thoughts on the book
Yeah.
or the movie.
We know he's not a big fan.
But
we knew he didn't like it.
If I was Sandy Komito, I probably wouldn't like it either. So it was really fun birding with him, though, because he's like the best. He was one of the most incredible birders.
Yeah, and
ever.
I hope these were all self-published, and I'm sure his daughter has the rights to it, but it would be really lovely if she got these back out there so that
he's also really good at writing.
it's
They're
just
very
a
well written.
delightful book about his 2 big years, both of his big years.
Yeah.
We're thoroughly enjoying it.
And here's a photo of us with him. This is on the Florida boardwalk, and he was so he had a very thick New York accent, or where was he from? New Jersey?
New Jersey, yeah.
Originally, I thought he was from
New York, because of the
New
Bronx.
York, and then lived in New Jersey,
Yeah.
and then retired in
And he
Florida.
still had the accent, and he was so enjoyable to talk with in general,
and he said,
also bird with.
I will only have endurance to bird maybe an hour, and y'all ended up birding
Well,
how long?
yeah, well,
long
he
time.
said that he could only probably do an hour, so he was like, because he said he was getting older, and then we went to the marsh that we were going to go to. We saw wood storks, which was so enjoyable. They were all nesting along the boardwalk. And then he was like, you know what, I want to show you another marsh. So we went to a second one for 2 hours. So, yeah.
It was incredible. And there was a bird that even he needed to look at his book to identify.
Yeah.
And so we were, obviously he didn't get any lifers. Because he's probably seen every bird in the United States. But one of the things that we thought about, since he won the Big Year 2 times, people have since beaten him it's kind of a competition, and so they've gotten higher numbers than him. And what we found out is that when he was birding and doing his big year, Hawaii was not part of the place that you could go bird. You can bird in
there's
North America. There was the North American big year. There was the lower 48 big year, but he did a North American big year.
He did the ABA area.
ABA area, yeah. Which is, there's like Alaska.
Yeah. You can do Alaska
48.
and then the 48 states, but you can't do Hawaii at the time he did it.
And then
they switched it.
Recently they've switched it. Even in this book, the 8th edition of the National Geographic. Here, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Even in this is the newest edition, I think, of our favorite field guide. They've added all the Hawaiian birds, which means it must be a relatively new thing, and so people have gone to Hawaii since.
And Hawaii
and gotten
has
birds.
Just completely different birds. There's hundreds that you can add on.
What are some of the craziest
I think
people should
also
see?
what I loved about your birding time with him is that to this day you still use tips that he's told you.
Yeah,
for
I have them written
identifying.
down.
And then also when you saw his field guide, it had notes everywhere.
It was just
because
completely
it's
covered
one thing
in
to see it in a book, it's another thing to see it in person.
And so he would write arrows, and we saw him because he heard a bird, and he was like, I know what it is, but I don't remember the name. And he looked through his field guide, and it was just covered in notes.
It was completely covered.
Yeah.
Here's an example. I hate to be pulling us out of the conversation, but here's an example of Hawaiian birds that you can see. They're just so different than anything in the, is it contiguous United States? It's just completely different, and there's a ton of them. And so adding it is a bit like adding Africa to your list.
Which I don't think is fair that
No. I feel like you should
changing
keep it.
the markers and the perimeters.
Because he worked really hard and got this great number.
And also now there's eBird, so...
Yeah,
there's a lot of updates.
He had to make phone calls to find out rare bird alerts.
Yeah, it's called NARBA, the North American Rare Bird Alert, and they actually did a great job of showing it in the movie.
Yeah.
They showed people would have a code name, which was some owl, or not owl, some bird name.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Most of them were raptors. And then they would give you an update on all the rare birds. And now we have eBird, we use Telegram, and so there was definitely, we had a question from Performance Power Washing. What is y'all's bucket list birding state spot in the U.S.?
California and Arizona, because I've never been west.
Arizona would be so incredible.
There's hummingbirds, just so many hummingbirds.
We actually may do a video there.
Yeah, Arizona.
Because we've been invited to go out and do a river
Yeah.
trip, so that could be a cool thing. Yeah, Arizona would be really cool.
Yeah, in the mountains.
I'm actually not interested in going to Hawaii as a spot to go birding.
It feels like cheating.
Because it feels like cheating. I think Arizona would definitely be, and then California.
Yeah, and...
To do a pelagic tour.
Yes.
Which a pelagic tour is where you go out on the ocean in a boat.
And I think if you're doing a big year, ABA big year, it's 200 miles offshore or 300 miles, some mileage. Because if you go farther and farther, you're in the ocean and, I don't know.
I know, then it's not really, then it's kind of another country. So definitely going there. And I think going to Arizona because of the amount of birds and also...
Yeah, they're the highest amount of bird species is California, Arizona. I think Arizona is the first, California, then Texas.
Yeah.
Texas would be an easy trip for us.
Yeah.
Texas would be really, because Texas, people are always talking about how many birds there are in Texas. But it's partially, I think, because of how big Texas is.
Yeah, it's
a bit
west and east.
A bunch of normal states all put together. So
And
there's
bordering
a lot
Mexico.
And bordering Mexico,
That's
so there's a
an
lot
advantage.
of southern birds. And that would be, I think we also had a question, why would it feel like cheating if you went to Hawaii? And it's probably because it's so far, it's just barely...
Are we even supposed to have Hawaii as part of the United States?
But it is also the reason it feels like cheating to me is it's those birds in Hawaii are also a lot of pet birds here. And so when you see a bird like that in the U.S., or I guess it is the U.S., but...
In the contiguous U.S.
It's usually counted as a escapee bird. And I guess I would just feel like I'm going to a zoo, even though
Yeah.
I'm not.
Because really none of the birds there are here.
Yeah, once I find all the birds in the contiguous
Continental.
U.S., then I'll maybe go to Hawaii.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of places that we want to go, but you said you're not very interested in going outside of the country
Yeah,
yet.
not until I.
I think it'd be interesting, but it does, when I think about seeing an ostrich or something like that, it doesn't seem very interesting.
No.
Speaking of birds, though, I want to bring up the last week of our birding, which was really exciting.
Unexpectedly.
Very unexpected, because obviously we had a big ice storm
Very big ice storm.
in a lot of the United States, and I think other places as well. There was a lot of snow and stuff happening.
Yeah.
And so it was very, very cold. And one of the days, I think it was, when was it? I think it was Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
We decided we were going to go sledding, and we thought there's going to be no birds. And we went out, and we were going to the back of the property, and there were hundreds of birds.
Yeah.
There were so many birds, we were like, we have to film a video.
And we had our sleds, and we were just gonna go down the hill, but then we saw just so many birds, and we were like, we have to.
And what motivated me especially to film it, and that'll be coming out probably in three weeks,
Yeah.
that video. But what made me excited is I got a lifer when we were sledding.
As we were standing in front of the tree.
You'd seen it like a month
times
ago?
before.
A couple times before, but it was a lifer for me. And I was like, I have to film this. This is incredible. It was a rusty blackbird. We have a photo here. The rusty blackbird. It's almost the same color as the ground and the background.
And Ari, you took that photo, right?
Yes, I took that
Ari
photo.
took this photo. Rusty blackbird. Euphagis carolinus. Ari, what are the things that you can... how do you identify this compared to other birds?
Well,
Other blackbirds or
I had seen it
grackles.
before in a big flock of grackles, which are also blackbirds. And I got very little looks at it. It was not very good looks. And they just all flew away. But the way I identified them is they have a very pointy bill, which a lot of blackbirds have, but to me it looks very, very pointy. And they have, in the winter, they have a lot of rust over their face.
They look rusty.
They look very rusty.
It's a good name for that
Yeah.
bird. And it was so cooperative.
It just...
That's also part of the reason that we thought we have to film this video, because it was sitting there in the position that you can see it in right now for a long time. Enough time for us to go get all our equipment and come back out
And it was still
and
there.
film it, and it was still there. And so that was great for me. And then we decided to film the rest of our video and try to see a couple other birds. And we went down to the house and tell ladies and gentlemen what happened.
Well, you had put out a bunch of seed.
Yeah, with the ice storm, it felt like the birds had gone silent.
Yeah, well, because
And
there was no food.
I started getting
such hard ice.
a little bit panicked. Like, are we
Yeah.
gonna wake up to?
Well, because as we were coming down, there was a hermit thrush that looked very tired and
It looked
exhausted.
like they were looking at us.
Yeah,
help
Astrid-
us out here.
Asher nearly stepped on it because it was just sitting there trying to warm up. It didn't have any
It was
food.
literally
Yeah.
on the ground, and then it put its head in its body and looked like it died, and then it
Yeah,
flew
so
away.
then I sort of just had a freak out. And so I went into the garage and I pulled out our bucket of bird seed and I just dumped it along the forest line. And I was like, I'm trying to help you guys. Stick with us. And I just was like, if you can find this food, tell your friends. I'll bring more out.
Which they did.
Just please, yeah. And they did tell their friends.
We came down and I was like, wow, I had sprinkled some seed out, but not the whole
to the
bucket.
extent that I did.
But there were so many sparrows, which the main species there was a fox sparrow, which I don't think we have a photo, but it was quite a lot. I think Ashley will pull it.
I can pull up a photo on this. That's what's great about having a book while Ari tells you.
And usually these birds are a lot more secretive, like they don't like coming out, and that is...
I'm going to show you to the other camera here. If you can see it,
The one in the middle.
that one is a fox sparrow. It's very, very fox colored.
Yeah, it used to be.
It's a very distinct bird when you see it in
You'll hear
in
a
real
lot
life.
about it in the video clip.
the video. Check it out.
But it was there, and usually you don't see a ton, and so clearly they were very hungry. And then I was laying on the ground trying to get some good photos, and there's this sparrow that flies by, which turns out to be an American tree sparrow, which we have a photo of right here. This is my
Great photo.
Thank you.
That's and that's not edited in any way.
Not edited in any
Actually,
way. That was the raw file.
does anybody knows how to pronounce that Latin name? Spitzeloides arborea.
Yeah.
That's my best Latin accent.
But I saw it and I was like, tree sparrow flying across. And that was a lifer for me because in Tennessee, they barely come into Tennessee. They're usually a northern sparrow. So it was
And certainly not in our county, right?
Yeah, definitely not in our county. So after we see it, it's on the video and I'm taking photos and I got a photo I'm happy with. And I reported it to eBird, and then I woke up the next morning and I went outside and it was still there on the ground. Not dead, it was eating seed. And then I got a telegram message from a man who wanted to see American tree sparrow. And he said, I know that
I've been watching you. I know that you've seen this tree sparrow.
He saw my checklist from eBird, and he was like, me and my friends would love to come and see it. And I think I had already known him and the other from birding recently.
Yeah, fortunately the names were familiar.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a bunch of
It
strangers.
wasn't just a bunch of random
Even
people.
I don't use eBird as much as you do, and I recognize all those names.
Yeah, so I felt comfortable saying to these three gentlemen, yes, you can come to our backyard and see this.
It turned out one of them was like 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he is the #1 e-birder in our county.
Yeah.
And so it was fun
pretty
to
impressive.
meet him
Yeah.
and find out his story and how he's able to get all the birds and have the highest number. So it was such a treat to have these in our minds sort of famous birders come to our property and
being able to see it because I've never had like a meaningful like rare bird show up on our property and people want to come and see it. So that was
It was really exciting.
fun.
Yeah, because again, we love community birding.
Yeah.
And so we love hosting people on our property and connecting. And I think y'all had a lovely chat with him about birds and he was able to identify birds in front of you that
we got more stars that we had to go travel for the one of the videos we did, like 20, 30 minutes.
Because they were so hungry, they were all coming out of the hidden places. I don't know if they're flying in from.
I know, that was crazy how many
I'm glad
rare-ish
that
sparrows
it's probably
there
the
were.
Blue Jays sent the alarm. Go to the Fremont farm.
And he was talking about how he is younger and one of his favorite things about birding is the community.
Yeah.
And he was excited to see that younger people are joining and getting interested in
because
it.
he was a young person himself.
And there's a lot of other people getting into birding now, like celebrities even are getting into birding. That is interesting. And so it was a really exciting video. I think it's going to be one of our most exciting videos.
Yeah.
Even when we saw the sparrow, sometimes you want to try to fake excitement.
Yeah.
I try not to fake it when we don't fake anything in our
Ari
videos.
would never.
Ari never allows us to.
I don't like faking it.
He
But
is a
it
person
was
of integrity.
every time we saw a bird, it was as if we had written a script and set it up. Evie and
I was laying on the ground.
you were on the ground 30 feet away. We were under this tree getting B-roll, and then Ari goes, guys, there's a tree sparrow. It came back. And we didn't want to scare it away because we wanted Ari to be able to get footage of it. And so I tried my best to get Ari seeing it because we like to have Ari talk about the birds on camera. And so he was trying to get footage, and Evie and I were stuck over on the one side, and there was this very office-like moment
Reality TV type of thing.
where we were trying to move the cameras around, and then it flew away, and we went over and were able to move. We were stuck for a bit.
Yeah, it stayed for 4 days actually.
It was incredible.
I didn't see it this morning. But.
Yeah, and also, do you want to say how you
Identify it
Identify it.
compared to the other
Yeah,
sparrows?
so the American tree sparrow is the full name. And the thing I looked for, because there's chipping sparrows, which look very similar. They have a rufous cap and they have a rufous cap, but the American tree sparrow, which is now on the screen, has this rufous cap and then a rufous cap and a rufous that comes out of its eye and then onto its shoulder.
And that gray eyebrow patch.
Yeah. And that's what I saw, because I was like, that's so much rufous on its face. And then I saw the dark marking on its chest, and then I was like, that's a tree sparrow. But yeah, I just looked for all the rufous on his face.
Yeah, because the chipping sparrow, does the American tree sparrow have the gray line down its head like the chipping sparrow does? Or the chipping sparrow has a little bit of like a
Well, like
grayish.
the winter adults also have like a little bit of just patchiness.
Yeah, and the dot isn't always the best because the song sparrow has the dot.
But it also doesn't have any streaking on its...
Yeah, that's the only thing on its chest.
Yeah.
We got a thing. I would love to attend one of these community birdings. We do host.
Who was it?
It was performance power washing.
We host one every spring and fall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are in the area and you do want to attend,
If you know where our area is.
if you know where our area is, you can. When's the next one's coming up in May? I think we moved it from April to May.
Yes.
But
Yes, and that one is going to, we always have cookies
Yep.
with bird stamps on them.
They're really
We
good.
always provide coffee. And we're going to have some live music at our next event.
we are. I should start rehearsing. Oh boy.
Because what
I totally forgot.
I just love I'm like a broken record. I love the community aspect of birding. I love the community, but I do.
It's really fun.
And I want people to feel like after they've always taken them on a tour that we can visit and share our love of birds.
And the thing about birders is birders are so honest because
Love birds.
if you are doing a big year or writing down birds on your list and you fake a bird, there is literally this thing that people call swallowgate in the bird community where someone lied about seeing a swallow on a specific day in a specific place and they got like
A photo they had taken in Colorado, which is where these violet green swallows are.
and they said they saw it in a completely different state and they got in trouble for lying about this bird. So if you fake birds that you've seen, people find out eventually. And so the thing about birders is they're just so honest.
They're
usually very
people of integrity that are curious about nature, being outside.
Yeah, and they're not just bird specific. They're usually very interested in bugs, habitat,
bugs, and
lots of other things. And so they're really nice people to hang out with. And so
And we're not just saying that because we're birders. We actually birders are the best.
Speaking of, this is great that I have the thing here because you guys have had some questions. And before we move on to the identification section, I had a question. Can you explain what a big year is quickly? And I have done some research on this and I know what I'm talking about. So, as briefly as I can, a big year, which is what Sandy Komito won twice, is, and what the movie is about, it's like a game. It's an event that certain birders who are really, really into birding will take upon themselves to do. And it's where you try to see as many birds as you possibly can in one calendar year. So from January 1st to December 31st, you try to see as many birds as possible.
And
this
bird
is
species.
Bird species, not individual.
Because
like,
a lot of people ask,
birds.
like, but how do you know it's the same, if it's the same pigeon? But it's the same...
It's a different species. And so people will go out on everywhere, and you can do your state, you could do your property, you could do the 48, and people do it everywhere.
You can do the world.
You can do the world. People have done the world. And this started, to give you a brief history of the big year, Audubon, who did the first artwork of the majority of the birds in the United States.
Yeah, it was,
We have his Birds of America. We did a story on Instagram, or we reposted. If you go to our Instagram, you can see this. The book that he ended up making is huge. It's like the size of the table.
Life size.
They were life-size paintings of these birds. And so he went around the United States painting these birds, and it was revolutionary, and it got people thinking they could also do this. And Peterson, who made the first field guide,
We have several of his.
we have a lot of
before
pieces of
Peterson, people usually, I just read this in the foreword to his book, they were all very kind of scientific things that they would describe birds with, like the length of a wing or a primary feather. And he read a book where this boy went and saw a duck in a cage, or a duck in a case. It was a dead duck. And there were these notes on like the marks, the field marks. And he thought, I could make an entire book with the field marks of these birds so that people who are not scientists can go out and identify the birds in the field. So I don't know if he was the one who coined the term field mark, but he did an Eastern version, and then his publisher said, this book has done so well. He sold thousands, millions of copies. And I went out of focus for a second. Sorry.
I know, my face is
Sorry about that. Anyways, he made a Western version, and I'm not coming back into focus, am I? Oh.
Ari's grabbing the focus.
I know.
Do you want me to get up there and fix that, or is...
If you want.
I'm so sorry. Last time we had a camera out of focus for the entire time, and...
Do you want my hand here?
Sure, I will use your hand right
There.
there. That should be good. All right, see? We're live, so these things can be fixed. Oh, that's so much better. Anyways, he made a Western version, and after he made these field guides, he and his friend, I think his name was James Fisher, went around the United States, saw all these birds, and then in the Birding magazine, he said, at the end of the year, my number was 600 or 700 something.
Yeah.
And people saw that and thought, we should go and try to see how many birds we can see in 1 year. And there were already, we did the Christmas bird count video, was our last video. And that, and the big day, which was trying to see how many birds you can see in 1 day, plus him doing this got people thinking, let's do this as a thing that birders do. And it became very popular. And then Sandy Komito eventually did it, and he did it twice. And so that's kind of a rough history of where it originated with Audubon and Peterson and the Christmas bird count. And now people are still doing it. I don't know who the last winner was, but it would have been announced a couple weeks ago.
I think it was that couple.
Yes. I don't know.
I think it was a couple that
They've
are
been
in
doing-
that movie, The Listers.
Yeah.
They were sitting in their
Oh, yes.
lounge chairs. I think they won this year.
They won.
Now, we've birded with the guy that won 2024.
Four. Yeah.
He's come to our house. So y'all have birded with two of the...
Ethan and Ingrid Whitaker. Was it them?
Ethan and Ingrid.
That's not what I was thinking.
It's.
I think you're right. I think it was a couple.
I think it was a couple.
And they were interviewed in the Listers movie.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. But anyways, y'all have birded with two
of the winners.
Yeah.
which is pretty special.
Well, no, 3. Oh, or I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about Greg Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We birded with 2 of the 3 people from the big year.
yes.
Mr. Greg Miller, and Mr.
Who
Sandy
is
Komito.
Jack Black's character.
And he's-
then
And he was
He's
actually the bird, what would it be called?
Supervisor.
Supervi-
for
yeah.
The movie.
yeah, which
for
is
the
probably
movie.
why it's so good.
I know,
Because
he was
they're
a-
all-
he's a delight. We've spent time with him birding in Ohio.
And he's a professional. And one of the things that people have problems, or birders have problems with movies and shows, is that they're never accurate. There was
very
some
annoying.
Hallmark movie and
About birding.
and there were
So many mess
wrong
ups.
things.
Yeah.
So having a professional like Greg Miller was probably very beneficial. So that is a bit about Sandy Komito and the big year. Now, next, like we had last time, we heard that everybody enjoyed this a lot. We are going to have some interactive bird identification. So The rules are, well, not rules, but how it's gonna work is we're going to put up a photo of a bird with 4 options. And because everybody will probably there will be multiple people with the correct answer. It's the first person to get it right will be the winner. And
eventually we'll maybe send you a hat.
yes, in the future we will send you a hat. Also, if anybody at the end of the show, if anybody had any lifers that they saw this week, or any new birds they saw recently, or really fun birds they saw, feel free to put it in the chat and we'll maybe touch on some if we have time at the end. So let's put up the first bird. Is this bird a rufous crowned sparrow, an American tree sparrow, a Eurasian tree sparrow, or a house sparrow? A, B, C, or D? You guys have a little bit of time before we take it away forever. And remember, we showed one of these birds earlier in the show. Alrighty, I think that's probably good. The correct answer is D, the house sparrow. And the winner is Zachary1236. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You got it correct. Wow.
Nice.
So, it was a house sparrow.
If you were nearby, we would throw you a hat.
We will throw you a hat.
A beast of Birdin hat.
Eventually, we will get people to give us their personal addresses and social security numbers. We'll send you a hat.
All right, Ari, do you want to talk about that?
Yes,
bird?
so the house sparrow is probably one of the most widespread birds in North America. They're also not supposed to be in North America. So you've probably seen house sparrows. Everyone here has probably seen house sparrows because they're literally everywhere. In the city, if you hear just a bunch of chipping, it's probably a house sparrow. They're so widespread, I don't know how many millions and millions and millions there are, but the closest species on
The closest looking species
on the list was a Eurasian tree sparrow, and the two main differences are that the house sparrow has a rufous cap, and then it turns into a gray cap, and the Eurasian tree sparrow has just a lighter rufous all the way on the entire cap, and then it has this black cheek patch. The Eurasian tree sparrow also was not supposed to be in North America. It was also introduced, but it did not do quite as well as the house sparrow. It got introduced to Illinois and Missouri, and it's still only in Illinois and Missouri. They are kind of spreading into Minnesota and Wisconsin. But yeah, I actually have not seen the Eurasian tree sparrow, but they look very similar. They're both from Europe. But yeah, you've probably seen house sparrow.
So yeah, I think for the moment, people probably won't have, unless you're in Missouri, you probably won't have much trouble identifying the two.
You will not have the Eurasian tree sparrow. Unless
Are there really any other sparrows in cities, like big cities, that are as prevalent as that one?
No, not really.
I think it's like if you see a sparrow in a city,
It's gonna probably be
probably the house sparrow.
You could show off your knowledge. I think that's a house
And
sparrow.
also, the house sparrows have this black bib, which is also kind of like a ranking. So, like, the males will have a bigger bib for the higher rank. So you won't actually see a ton of fighting from house sparrows through food because they have rankings. So if a immature house sparrow with a small little bib will see a lot older house sparrow with a ginormous bib, that's kind of like he's the head of the sparrows in that area.
I love in David Attenborough's Life of Birds, when he gave them like corporal, lieutenant, private, he would do it in like army rankings.
Yeah.
And he talked about that. We'll be selling bibs of different sizes on our store soon, and you can be the highest ranking sparrow. I'm just kidding. All right, let's put up the next bird. Is this bird a magnolia warbler, a yellow-rumped warbler, an American redstart, or a black-throated green warbler? Remember, it's the first person to get it right, so it's not personal. If we don't, congratulate everybody who got it right.
Well, you still can.
We could
You
we
still
could congratulate it.
congratulate.
For this next one, I will congratulate everybody who got it right. I'll wait for one more second. All right. All right. And the correct answer was B, the yellow-rumped warbler. So congratulations, Performance Power Washing. You are the winner.
Nice.
Also, congratulations to Zachary1236 and Fall Potts and Brianna Chappelle 6265 for also getting it correct.
Brianna knew that. Good
But-
job, Brianna.
Not as quick. I'm so sorry. All right, you want to tell them how you can identify this specific bird? Let's put
Yeah.
the photo back up.
So, yellow-rumped warblers are also probably the most widespread warbler as well. And right now, in the eastern North America, they're wintering, and that's when we see them here. And they are have a weird chip call, which I won't get into, but it's something in my ears that I don't know. But the yellow-rumped warbler, as you've probably heard the name, has a yellow rump,
Yep.
which is the key feature to usually identify them, because all plumages have a yellow rump. And they also have a yellow shoulder patch. So that's almost bigger than the patch on the rump. They're on both shoulders and rump. But then the most similar species also in
On the list that we gave you is
the magnolia warbler. And
and they are pretty similar.
they are very similar. So if you look, you'll probably go, actually, I can tell the difference from that. But far away, it can look very similar because they both have like a black mask and they both have yellow and they're a cool gray. But the magnolia warbler's yellow goes from the throat all the way down to its belly. And they have the thick black streaking all the way down. They also do not have a little yellow crest marking like the yellow-rumped warbler.
Yeah, that yellow on the chest is pretty distinct in this photo.
Yeah.
But if it's hopping around, it may be slightly more difficult,
Yeah.
I think. Also, just want to pause really quick. Zachary1236 is in Illinois, and he said that he sees Eurasian tree sparrows
Wow.
regularly and flocks of house sparrows, which is incredible.
That is really
That
cool.
is really incredible.
Because didn't you mention a little bit in Illinois?
Well, they were brought mainly to Illinois,
Oh.
That's really cool.
which is really cool.
Yeah, all right. And the final bird, let's put it up on the screen, is this. A northern house wren, a blue-gray gnatcatcher, a Carolina wren, or a Buick's wren. Good luck, everybody. All right, we're getting people answering. I'm gonna give everybody a second more. Okay, Performance Power Washing, you can't answer every single one. You have to pick one. All right, let's show the, wait 1 second. All right, I just wanna make sure I got what letter it was. And show the correct answer. It was C, the Carolina wren. And so that is congratulations to Fall Potts.
Wow.
You got it correct. It was C. And congratulations to Zachary1236 as well.
Gotten it right
You're
every
second.
time.
And Performance Power Washing, that doesn't count because you said A first. Anyways,
And then
so this one, if I may talk really quickly, this one is the one that we see most here.
yeah,
But we will, once you do talk about identifying, there is another one that I used to see most in Texas when we lived in Texas. And so it was actually kind of surprising not to see it anymore because we don't really have it at all here.
yeah, not at
And
all.
so we mostly see the Carolina wren and see a couple of the others intermittently throughout the year. But yeah, talk about how to identify.
Yeah, so the Carolina wren is probably one of the, it's like there's two rufous wrens in the United States, but the Carolina wren is in eastern North America is the only really rufous wren, and it's got a rufous back and then a lighter orange rufous on its.
It's the most orangey.
Yeah, it's kind of just like an orange little cute singing blob. But they've also got a really bold white supercilium is what it's called. It's like an eyebrow almost. It is an eyebrow.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just an orange wren, but then if you can put the one that
We had 3 other options. By the way, if you guessed
blue-gray
Blue
gnatcatcher.
Gnatcatcher, we wish you luck on your birding endeavors. You should probably purchase a book
Said
relatively
blue-gray.
soon.
But the as you can see on the right, there's the Buick's wren, which is what
Which is the
Ashley
one that I
was
saw
talking
most
about.
in Texas.
And it looks very similar, but it is, as you can see, it is smaller. You can't really see it there, but then it also has a gray, white.
And it's grayer overall
It's
compared
grayer
to the Carolina
overall
Wren.
on the back, which is it's like a gray brown, and then on its chest, it's just a white gray.
Yeah.
And then if you guessed northern house wren, it is another wren, but as you can see, it doesn't have any supercilium.
And one of the interesting things about the northern house wren is it used to be, there's a southern house wren and a northern house wren now. Is there another house wren?
I think it's only north.
Because is it in this book? Was it updated so recently
I
that
don't
it's not in this
think
book?
I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was a recent update to the,
Yeah. See, it said adult western. It used to be a subspecies.
so there used to be subspecies, and then they've recently split it into northern house wren,
because there's
southern house wren, and possibly,
brown-throated house wren.
which is one of the things where I always think it's funny when they split or combine birds. It's like, how different really is it? There's one bird that doesn't have a different song, doesn't look different,
No.
lives practically in the same area, and they split it.
The flycatcher?
I think it's the
Yeah.
flycatcher, the alder and
Willow.
the willow flycatcher. So it used to be just a house wren, and then recently, I think last year maybe,
Yeah.
or the year before that.
They announced that they were going to do it, and they successfully did it in 2025.
And so now it's if you see, depends on kind of where you see it.
Yeah,
It's northern or
I don't
southern.
really. I haven't looked into
Or the other one.
differences between southern and northern, and the. I think it might be the brown-throated house wren, but I think that's what
Yeah,
it
because
is.
in
It's a
this, in
subspecies.
the book that we have here, it shows the house wren. I'll actually show you in a second. It has the house wren and then adult western, adult eastern, and brown-throated wren as separate subspecies.
Which is just like the same species,
So
but it's a different.
I would focus it. You're just gonna have to zoom in. Here's the house wren, and then its subspecies. And so what they've done is split it into completely unique species instead of just variations
Yeah.
on
Which-
the house wren.
I don't know how far away the DNA was.
Yeah,
From each other.
I don't always get that.
I'm just
But-
going to trust them on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I don't, who makes the decision on the renaming?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it Alan or Brad? Just kidding. Who do we need to call? Anyways, those are our 3. We want you to want more and not less. So it's 3
Can you
identification.
cut that down to 2?
So next time we will have 3 brand new birds for you to identify. There was one question that we didn't answer at the beginning, which was from, I think it was Owen Clybarn's Music, and it was, if you could be a bird, what bird would you be?
That's a good question.
May I answer?
Yeah.
I know.
And then I'll answer.
A vulture, which may shock some people, but vultures get to glide around. That's what Eleanor wants to be. A vulture, because they just glide around on thermals. They find food. They don't really kill anything.
Yeah, people have been saying like they kill cows.
They
or
don't.
Cattle. They don't.
Get over it. They're kind, sweet birds.
And we need them for
Cleanup.
cleanup.
Like, you'll
they're
see
so vital.
Yeah.
They're such cool birds. Some people think they have the bald head and they're kind of scary looking,
Ugly.
but they're really fascinating, and that's for cleanliness. And so they're like
Yeah.
nature's cleanup crew. I may not clean up as much if I was a vulture, but the soaring looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Let your mom do it.
Do you know what bird you would be?
I have thought about it before, and it would be nice to be like a raptor that just soars around all the time.
Yeah, you probably want to be higher up in the.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would say house sparrow.
No.
I want to be food for someone else. What about you?
Well, my favorite bird is the roadrunner.
That is a fantastic bird.
Yeah, and
I enjoy them.
they're high.
I loved watching them hunt in Texas.
And we only heard their call a couple times, but it sounds like a monster.
Yeah, well, because they're in the family cuckoo, which you don't think about a lot, but they are in the family cuckoo, so they have
Yep.
a really deep, like, cooing sound.
And it was really startling when we heard it in the woods a couple times. But that is a fantastic looking bird and bird in general. They run really fast, hence the roadrunner, and they also fly.
Lizards.
They catch lizards, so that is a great
Yeah,
one.
I guess I'd just be a raptor. I don't know. I'm not a specific bird.
Yeah, I think Performance Power Washing is going to have a talk with me later. Lazy and a wrinkly head. Asher, I see it. All right, not kind. Not kind. Well, that was fantastic. Thank you all for tuning in for our second live show here on YouTube. And this will look different next time. It looks incredible already, but it'll be painted and there'll be more books. And we may or may not switch the lamp up, but the lamp looks so amazing here.
Gotta love a good bird lamp.
I know, look at that. It's so on brand. And so yeah, it may stay. It is from the house. And anyways, thank you all for watching. We hope to see you the week
weeks?
after next.
2 weeks.
And we will be coming out with a normal video next week. Anyways, on that note, it is time to end. Thank you all so much for watching. Good night.